Diverus. At times like this, I'm glad Helia gave me these eyes. This bodes poorly for my countrymen. The company came here at the invitation of your chief. You should respect his decision. Niska Merla. Their deaths are on you. Diverus. I would sooner trust a child with a fleet of gunships. They will. It is what the company has done throughout the Eastern Reach. Why not here? Destroying a vein of precious luminous Adra is foolish, childish, and of benefit to no one. Certainly not to the tribe she hopes to protect. Again, this is nonsense. Beza's notes are her own. Her mad fantasy should not disgrace the company by association, as though they care what happens to any of us. Percamblanca, you are young, but not so young to be this naive. The company can be a good friend to helpful partners, even out here. Chaudhry, one woman's fevered notes do not represent the company's plans. Fitting that one with so little sympathy for others finds none when he feels wronged. I do not believe I have ever experienced hunger so great that I would resort to eating lagfath. Ranga, respectfully, I must say that Beza's notes do not represent the company or the Valian republics as a whole. The company should have a fair accounting of everything that's happened here. Perhaps now the company can get on with more useful endeavors. The company would not have told Vector their plans, and I am sure he is right. Beza was clearly operating on her own, not under company orders. Diverus. The company's concerns are the Duke's concerns, which makes them my concerns. But saving your skin was not in my orders. You sweat too much over too little, Vector. I have never known the company to hold the expedition's cook responsible for its success or failure. Good to know your priorities were in proper order on company time. Gelade. I did not even know these Wilder could understand Kith languages. Even in this state, it is easy to see why Luminous Adra is so prized. Madiko! They're coming up the walls! Gue? What is this? Are we truly in this place? If this is how the gods run the Beyond, I'm sure Valian animancy would be an improvement. If you think bad weather will hold back my countrymen, you have greatly underestimated us. You speak as though this Adra has been the heart and soul of your tribe for generations, though you have only recently come here, spiteful and foolish. It would harm this tribe more than the republics. Twice I have traveled with you, and twice we have wound up in a brothel. Chaudhry. It is a fair characterization. Mestres, forgive us. We did not come to cause a quarrel. Bostanago, I have no interest in helping you wipe out a high-seated family of the republics over a petty feud. Are you dear Wooden? Belfetto. Who are we working for again? Leave it to pirates to play their cowardice as insult. I have had enough of this stupid feud. I can only hope this brings an end to the nonsense. Bold words. Can you back them up? I don't want to get into a fight with you at my side only to find out it was all bravado. Percamblanca, we do not have time for this nonsense. Respectfully, Director. You know as well as I that bad news can take weeks to reach the Duke's ears. It is in your best interest to turn the bad news to good as quickly as possible. Belfetto! Mestra, you have my condolences and my regret that we were not able to prevent the bloodshed. Respectfully, Mestra, if this feud spills any more blood, it may draw the attention of the Dukes themselves. Ado, Mestra. The Duke's bells wish you good health and good fortune. Watcher, do you not find it odd that you need to vouch for Tekehu in his own city? Our country benefits little from the flowers of its great families cutting each other down in their prime. First blood should satisfy your honor. Save your breath. I am a sworn brother of the Conqusualias, neither available for nor interested in your wooing. The republics have the best minds in the world pursuing it, Mestre Alvari. Have you never learned to think something without speaking it, Pazzo? You were right to turn him down. But if you push him, he will get himself killed trying to stand up to you. We do not need the ire of the entire Valera family. Of course, Mestra, I always have time to help the great families of the republics, though I must admit this seems a bit pedestrian. Watcher. Tiverus. Is it really you? I'm sure that even at Cadnua, You must have heard what happened when I returned to the Republics. The Republic survived. That is the most important thing. And here the company's business seems to be getting on fine without my interference.
Vous me dice postnago. Pufanvi. Quesel magro me fulpa meduar. Perique nacracuna veengeri. Vutros domela!
I suppose I should not be surprised considering all we went through. But no, I will not be coming with you, Watcher. I would be lucky if I wound up dead. No. No company associated with the Dukes will employ me now. I get by working as a ship guard. At least I can be among my people, even if they look down on me. The apology does not make things right. But it is good to hear. Diverus. Cores, Watcher. Cores.
Pufanvi.
Maestra and Mestre. As you know, the brothers of the Consualias are often called upon to help mediate conflicts between the Dukes, the Consualia Segia, and the great houses of the Republic, such as yours. I would not presume to suggest your quarrel will be easy to mend. But Diverus, during my service I have seen much bloodier feuds mended with time and patience. I have also seen the wrath of the Duke's bells turned against those who would cloud the skies of our nation's fortunes with their vendettas. I urge you to seek a remedy for your injuries that produces a lasting peace. For all our sakes, she has little to gain and much to lose from crossing you. Show mercy, Watcher. Captain, are you so drunk you think a brother of the Consualias would hire herself out as a thug? Que? Why kill her over a simple debt? Per milanis. A moment of your time, Watcher. The Bardatos and Valeras may be at each other's throats, but both are vital to the company's strategy in the Deadfire. The company will tolerate some level of mischief and bloodshed, even murder between them, but not burning one family to the waterline. I will not tolerate it either. Is that clear? Good. It may come to violence, but use restraint. A little spilled blood may cool passions on both sides, but it has a greater chance of inflaming them. And this is my warning to you. I am here because the Conta wants you to help Valian interests in the Deadfire. If you intend to profit from our destruction, we will put an end to it. They are going to fight. But you can influence how they fight and how this ends. Be responsible.
Postnago. Was raising the Deerwood not enough for you? You have just killed a prominent member of a high-seated Valian family.
I am not going to stay here to see what excuse you have, or who will be next to die by your hand. I should have known entering your company was a mistake. Gores, Watcher. The Bardatos are not on the company's board, but they are major investors in company operations. The Valeras keep pirates from sacking our ships, and I will handle you as I choose. Tiverus. Does he really not know who you are, Watcher? I am not a daughter of a mirror, and yes, I know of them. I cannot know the details of the contract without seeing it myself, but it sounds quite ordinary for the company. Then he is a good clerk. He would not be much use to the company if he did not look after their interests. Take it from me, Luca. You don't want to get on the company's bad side. Don't let this one convince you otherwise. Ado, Luca. I know you have your orders, Luca. But sometimes the company does not know what is best for them. Grabbing this tribe's land may hurt the Duke's interests in the long run. And maybe next time their tribe will send someone bigger and less pleasant than Tawenu to knock on your door. A brother of the Consualias does not seek affection, nor personal safety. Life and fortune are nothing. The republics are everything. Ducremasi, maestras and mestres. I am here to assist in these proceedings, nothing more. They may not be violent, but these fine people are all ruthless in their own way. The roads they took to reach this room are littered with their enemies. I am speaking of more than gold, more than prestige. Success will bring the power to shape the future as you imagine it could be. No. As the people in this room cannot yet imagine it could be. Maestras and mestres. I believe Director Castol does have the best interest of the republics in his heart, but I cannot deny that his actions have jeopardized the company's interests in the Deadfire. the Songreta Mea Compressa. They have made the largest investments in the company's holdings. Maestras and mestres. I cannot deny that Director Castol has jeopardized the company's interests in the Deadfire. But his ambitions align with those of the Republics. Such ambitions carry risk, but they also bring the potential for your company, for our republics to become the uncontested leaders of the world to come. I do not expect you to understand our vows, Kanta. But for the next few minutes, the least you could do is respect them. Peckham Blanca, do not be ridiculous. That is not how I would have chosen to spy on someone. Kanta Nichese. I am acquainted with the Watcher of Cadnua from my assignments in Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. Ah, Your Excellency. Pamed Kongswalias. Of course. His Excellency knows how instrumental you were in helping the Republics in the past. If I can be of assistance again, I am honored for the opportunity. I believe I have proven to be a competent ally in the past, Watcher. But I cannot compel you to take me to Hasango. I have seen things with him that are not even told in the most outlandish of sailors' tales. I have seen things with her that are not even told in the most outlandish of sailors' tales. I hope that time will show you that the Republics can be valuable allies in Deadfire. We both have our orders. I have no interest in interfering with you as long as you do not interfere with me. Bieta, if you change your mind, I am at your service. If you change your mind, I will be at your service. Strange. Does no one know that this woman has died? Or have the Juana left her here for some reason? Is it now your habit to go around collecting corpses? I thought you were content with lost souls. Are you quite all right? You have been out of sorts since, whatever that was. You might be surprised, Your Highness. Watcher, even if Ukaizo is a myth, Motario Kozi is old enough that it may contain some clue about why Eothas is interested in the Deadfire. Many of my countrymen also believe that Ukaizo is nothing more than a myth. But there are others who would kill to find such a place if it were real. If it was our attention you wanted, I am sure you have it now. Belfetto, you are a fool if you really believe my country lacks the resources or the resolve to continue their ventures here. If Ukaizo exists, even your own people doubt the legends. An ancient city greater than Neketaka, brimming with luminous Adra, and all built by the Juana thousands of years ago. Is every patriotic Valian a spy? I have hardly hidden my allegiance, Your Highness. Madiko, I am not an imbecile. I understand what she is asking and why. If this is something that will harm Valian interests, you need to think carefully about where your loyalties lie. You are walking down a dangerous road, Watcher. Tread carefully. Chaudhry, this is a lie so transparent that even our rivals must see how absurd it is. There must be some alternative to threatening a respected Mataru. I had seen the bathhouse before, but never entered. I admit its beauty rivals even the salt baths of Guelphi. I admit it is beyond my expertise, but this looks unwell. Mandiko, have we entered an Archmage's vault or a dragon's lair? I am as disturbed as you. At the academy, all of the brothers had to bathe together. It went about as well as you might expect. Seraphin, you have a rather curious method of making a request. How often has this worked in your favor? Yes. One could view this as an attempt to lure us back to his home in order to brutally murder us for robbing him. On the other hand, no, there is no other hand. He is going to kill us. Belfetto, I am thrilled as always to walk into a dragon's lair with you, Watcher. Your path is littered with the creatures. Diverus, we mine it and refine it. Most of the Juanas seem perfectly content with the arrangement. Merla, shouldn't those little grubs turn into beetles or something? How did this thing get so big? Such mockery is unjustified and undignified. Que? Ugh, our merchants squabble. I imagine your pirates do not bother with the squabble and just put a bullet through the head of whoever displeases them. That depends entirely on what kind of friends they are. If legal markets cannot provide, illicit markets are the natural result. Amico, you are as subtle as a church bell. Peckham Blanca. You truly are awful at this. Show this farm boy a gang of pickpockets on the streets of Salona, and he'd never cease to be amused. A surprising number of people are interested in this mythical city. Tonderi. These gold-packed knights have a love of obligation that matches my love of country. This is hardly a proper sanitarium. But at least they are isolated from others. What is it? What did you see? Water shaping is impressive, but I had not thought of it being used for such mundane purposes. A Vithrak, Descant. It is hard to believe they tolerate it, even down here. I would rather see a temple razed to make space for cattle grazing than preserved for prayer. Does that answer your question? Knowledge is profit enough for most animancers, Aderic. The pires are simply a bonus. Ugh, I practice extremely silent prayer. Not praying. It works just as well and takes less time. Tiverus? It would be funny if it were not so pathetic. Belfetto. The man who dragged down every other dear wooden animancer with his despicable practices. What a wonderful surprise. You and dozens of other animancers. The difference between you and them could fill several books on ethics. Valian animancers are accustomed to working with a measure of restraint. I can see how that could be troubling for you. Interessant. When do we begin? Ado sere. Respectfully, I must decline. Honor? Percamplanca. The gods spoil everything they touch. They are charlatans and cowards, the lot of them. And leave it to a Rawatayan to ignore the dozens of other uses Valian animancers have discovered for luminous Adra just in the last few years. An embarrassment of riches is far less embarrassing than you suggest, Grand Secretary. Thankfully, it is a burden your people will never have to know. I do not expect you to understand the intricacies of the company, Grand Secretary. But the Dukes have representatives on the Songreta Mea Compressa for exactly that reason. I am sure the company is abiding by the Juana prohibitions against slave trade in Deadfire. To call this an exaggeration would be too kind. You both overestimate the ambitions of the company and underestimate the resolve of the Juana. Rawatayans. To you, every problem is a head that just has not met the right bullet. Success in trade has been quite elusive for the Rawatayans, but the bitterness suits you well. It is because you underestimate us. Though I suppose I underestimated that one. I know what happens to those who don't pay their debts in the republics. We may be the first kith in centuries to set foot in this place. Hopefully, we will live to tell someone about it. Is that really Aetas? I thought the descriptions were exaggerations. How old is this fortress? It is incredible that it even exists in this place. I could have gone my entire life without ever seeing a dragon. Should I be thankful or spiteful that you always head straight for them? If it has survived this long near the keep, we may be able to reason with it. What are these giants preparing to do? Attack Aetas? They will die to the last. I wonder what she thinks of all this. Seeing her creation snuffed out as easily as a candle's flame. Does she feel anything at all? It is so quiet. How many has Aetas killed passing through here? I wish my diplomatic training included the polite way to get a god's attention. Merla! At least it was not on our heads. We will need to find another way out. Do these places always make such a fearful noise? That one felt stronger than the first. I do not know much about volcanoes, but when they keep rumbling like this, that is not good, yes? Just keep its attention on you. You will find this meal most difficult to eat, dragon. One call to duty in centuries, and you are too cowardly to answer it. Pathetic. And if Margaret would rather have you die for nothing than survive, she is not worth serving anyway. Only an imbecile or a madman would desire this. It is our duty. Valian animancy has unlocked many strange properties in luminous Adra. But it appears Watchers could teach them a few tricks. What did you see in there, Madico? No one ventures into Margaret's teeth. A chain of volcanoes guarded by giants, if the Juana legends are true. I know you have become accustomed to your abilities. but the stakes seem much higher here in the Deadfire. Are you all right? We made it through Sun in Shadow. We overcame Theos. We can do this. Did you discover where Aethys is going? He seems to cause more damage the farther he travels. Diverus. The gods all have some explaining to do. He more than most. I would think after this long that I have earned more trust than that. I know that no one ventures near Magran's teeth. Not the Valians, not the Royal Deadfire Company, not even the Juana. Chaudhary, you attack every foreign ship you see. The Juana may not like us, but at least they speak to us. I can see Rautai does little to educate its soldiers in logic. Do you really believe my countrymen had a stone titan hidden away for a rainy day? Please continue. She is battle-rattled. I believe that is what the Adirans call it. It happens to all soldiers sooner or later. Sometimes you leave the fight, but it doesn't leave you. We have both those who swing swords and those who count coins. You seem to have brought only those who shoot guns and talk too much. You are awake. Good. The storm has died down, but our enemies have used the opportunity to make their way to Ukaizo. I want you to know. I appreciate what you are doing. Que? You are not serious, are you? Diverus. That would mean the end of all life. It is good to see you awake. It seems the storm has passed. You have always known where my loyalties are, Watcher. It is a shame it had to come to this. The Engwithins. They made you. Madiko. Is that some kind of animat? Que? It is dangerous to make such a gamble with my people. We are more accustomed to these games than you. Is that... Madiko, it's really him. It's Aloth. Que? What happened? I think that it... Certainly it should not be destroyed. It would only be a matter of time before someone else made the same discovery. Que? What is this? You haven't even explained what he's done. On what grounds? You haven't even explained what he's done. Que? What was the point of taking him to begin with? And now you're going to kill him because of how the Watcher answered your stupid riddles. And after all this, you're going to let him go and destroy his research because of how the Watcher answered your stupid riddles? And after all this, you're going to let him go because of how the Watcher answered your stupid riddles? I cannot make the same promise, Captain. Permed consuelias! Que? No! You have abducted the Animancer Jocolo, a valued citizen of the Valian Republics. As a representative of the Brotherhood, I am here to negotiate his safe release. He enjoys the protection of the Dukes Bells and Panitz, and through them, the Fremas Mesconsuelias. If Jocolo is not returned to us in good health, everyone involved in his kidnapping will face the wrath of the Five Sons. This, I swear. Père Complanca, let us pass. I know you have Jocolo. I have known him since I was a girl in the Republics. He saved my life. He has saved the lives of many of our kind. Whatever you think he has done, you have the wrong idea about him. Buffonvi! Bostinago! Are you mad? You attacked when there was no reason to, and now Jocolo is dead because of it. Bostinago, are you mad? You attacked when there was no reason to. It is a miracle Jocolo even survived. Madiko. Tazzalto left us no choice. And I couldn't save Jocolo. Still, thank you for trying, Watcher. Tazzalto was a fool to provoke such a fight. Even so, it's a miracle that Jocolo survived. I am disappointed we were unable to save Jocolo's research. But thank you for helping me save the man himself. I honestly do not know what those pirates would have done to Jocolo if we hadn't arrived. And now we have saved not only the man, but his research as well. Agressima, Watcher. I was a fool to follow you in the Deerwood, and a bigger fool to think you could help me save Jocolo. If I never see you again, Diverus, it will be too soon. Bazzo. It was not. Still, we survived. He survived. Agressima, Watcher. Not if I could do something about it. I owe you too much to let something happen to you over some nonsense. But who should decide how it should be restricted, and you should not be expected to? Who would even be capable of doing such a thing? Should animancers be limited? If so, by whom? Tondere. A group of pirates hardly have the authority to tell animancers how they should behave. Ach, that is funny, Watcher. Let the public decide. Ach, that is the danger. When Adir and the Deerwood began restricting animancers, researchers simply moved east to the republics. How would that work? Would animancers submit to the authority of other animancers? Well, it appears we are done here. We should see you back to Neketaka, Mestre Jocolo. I will always remember what he did for me. What he tried to do for me. For my kind. To think that Tatsatl and his crew were willing to kill for this. For the mere possibility that Jocolo's research could be misused. Did they really have that much to fear? It does raise the question. If anyone were to restrict animancers, who would even be capable of doing so? Ach, I concur. I am glad that we put an end to him and his crew. I only wish that it had not cost Jocolo his life. I suppose that says it all. Their fear dies with them. And sadly with Jocolo. Let us leave this place. There is a great danger to that. In Adir and the Deerwood, rulers fear animancy because they do not understand it, and because of this fear, they attempt to suppress animancy, or to kill animancers for practicing it. Still, I would prefer that to it being regulated by kings and priests who would rather kill an animancer than attempt to understand what they practice. I doubt the public would behave much better than Tatsatl and his crew. The paladins of the Darkotsi were legendary in their time. Madiko. That is difficult to watch. The truth can hurt even the dead, it seems. Diverus. It is still better than living under a lie. I did not know we were in need of an undead army. But you are the one doing the negotiating. I am not certain where you are going with this. Ugh. A little. You do not look healthy. Of course. If you let Durrance travel with us, why not her? Tiverus.
Watch her, quickly! We must help her!
Tiverus? Incredible. We did it. We actually did it. Disgusting. Why can't potions ever be made of more pleasant ingredients? Your cruelty should weigh more heavily upon you. It is not something to bear proudly, even here. Ugh. I am certain he has many important things to get to. Unsanitary and quite noisy. I have to say I'm not fond of these welcoming customs. Vela, do you have any duties on board this ship? I wonder if you are small enough to fit down the bore of an Imperial long gun. Well, someone has to clean them.
Madiko! I lost it! Merla! I was almost finished! Per Medkang Swelias, me Republices, per Milanis, for the Republics, for the Watcher!
No, I cannot do that. Senteri, I cannot. Cref da fiela, dielim. Quete silmes mitum. Worde bildan sau.
Croacten! Sacritu! Ixmaru!
Verash, keramenaisa. Gerunda vaisiora. Tunavasikaria. Mera. Of course. At once. If I must. My pleasure, amico. My pleasure, amica.
Perfetto! Ne con Blanca! Diverus! How could I miss that badly?
That was horrible. There is something over there. I found something. Over there. Chorus. There. Up ahead. Careful. Look.
Fall back! Fall back! Ulu! Ten! Moi! Dixie! Anna! Lava! Bion! Si! Britu! Ligna! Ave! Werven! Roth! Pusinago! Watch your fire! Your aim could use some improvement.
It is still me, your pal, Pallegina, the paladin. If you keep this up, I will peck your eyes out. Diverus.
Peckham Blanca, leave me alone.
There must be something better to do than just stand here. If we do not do something soon, I am going to start molting. I have already warned you about this.
Chloe! Stuck! I cannot move.
This is testing my limits. I must rest. If you do not let me rest soon, you will have to carry me. My fighting spirit can only take me so far. I must rest. Soon. I have no space. Sientere. Huh? Not bad. Not bad at all. You are too kind, Watcher. I accept. A fine prize to be certain. Agrasima. What have we found? Look at this, Watcher. All accounted for. A fair haul. Perhaps this will prove useful. I hope the prize is worth the cost. A curious purchase, Watcher. At your service, Watcher. Back again, I see. At your service, amico. At your service, amica. Ugh. I am the vanguard. Fall in on my position. Try not to get me killed, Watcher. An honor, as always. When you have a moment, Watcher. Wherever you go, Watcher, it seems there are always locks to be picked. It is not what the Brotherhood prepared me for, but I will do my best.
Merla, this is testing my endurance. I need healing. Bercam Blanca. I cannot hold out much longer. Permun Conk spells. Permun Conk spells! Permun Conk spells! Milanis per me republices! Milanis per me republices!
As one.
As one! As one! As one! As one! As one! Forth to battle! Forth to battle! Forth to battle! Death to those who oppose the republics! Death take you! Death take you! Death take you! Aloth! No, not in there. It can't be.
So much for Raltai's sharpshooter. Medico. I will miss that foul creature. Tekehu is gone, Watcher. Nothing to be done for him.
Shoti is dead, Watcher. Gone.
The Pale One has fallen, Watcher. She is beyond help.
Watcher, we've lost someone. Watcher. No, the tides are turning against us, Watcher.
Well, Tekehu is gone. I will not pretend to mourn him.
No, Tekehu, it can't be. Tekehu!
That irritating country girl has finally met her end. Gores Postinago.
Aloth has decided to take a nap, Watcher. Adair has gone down. The Raltaian is out. Seraphine is down. The Water Shaper has been knocked out. Shoti is down. The Pale One has gone down. The Watcher is down. We are losing allies. That is another ally down. Poison. I have been poisoned. Postinago, have you gone mad? Watcher, what are you doing?
Be cautious. Be constant. Eyes open. It is still me, your pal, Pallegina, the paladin. If you keep this up, I will peck your eyes out. Diverus.
Peckham Blanca, leave me alone.
I am ready. Tell me, que?
Madico, I need to try something else. It is no use. I cannot get through.
Finished. Vakile, it is accomplished. When one of my order is cast out, we are obligated to remove the suns from our armor and wear it as a sign of our disgrace. I have been allowed to serve my country to the best of my ability. That is good. You just miss having someone standing in front of you when Isumir insults half the people in a room. Some people believe in the gods. I believe in the republics. They will endure long after I am gone. The gods have never done right by me. Animancers have. Even a little responsibility is better than none at all. Ruanu is the Ranga of Tikawara. I cannot risk the company's interest here by offending him. It is my duty to serve the interests of the dukes and the company, even if the Songreta may not welcome my presence. You certainly seem to admire the luminous bathhouse, Aloth. It was made by animancers, of course. Is everything quite all right, Aloth? You have been troubled since we left the spire. Ah. But if we spend our time worrying about everything that could go wrong, we would never accomplish anything. Where do you draw the line between animancy and what the Huana do? Do you object to their practices as well? Agrasima. He is one of the only people in my life who cared for me as a person, not as a godlike. He was the first person in my life to care for me as a person, not just a godlike. Better him than one who does not recognize the danger, Diverus. And there are many days I have wondered if death would have been preferable to this. Aloth, I know it has been difficult to deal with your new responsibilities. Though it is my duty to serve, I face similar doubts. Aloth, I knew it could not be easy for you to abandon your responsibilities. I have wanted to do the same many times. When I was young, there was only passion. Diverus. But with age, doubt crept in. If only all those in power had half your sense of responsibility. Say what you want about animancy, but it wasn't animancers who bound the sea dragon's soul beneath the Water Shapers Guild. That may have something to do with the availability of sea dragons, Aloth. It is a wonder they manage at all without your wisdom and guidance. Of course. But my place is to protect the republics, for those who will shape its future. In their eyes, my devotion was misplaced. Perhaps it was. At least now I have another chance to prove myself to them, no more than they owe any other citizen of the republics, to create the best possible future for the generations who follow us. Not all animancers do, and most who do are attempting to fix, to cure maladies of the soul. I persist in my duty not because I ignore my doubts, but because I fight them every day. My debt and my duty are to my country. I would gladly accept humiliation from the dukes for another chance to serve the republics. As much as you must hate to admit it, they are trying to do good where no one else dares. A dangerous game. No need to be coy with this group, Aloth. Percam Blanca. If this continues, it will become unbearable. One of the fierce tribes of the Huana cover themselves in this vile fruit. I have heard it grows thick at a place called Oriokoiki. Diverus? That was the same story he told the Glanfathens. At least the Wahaki made him pay for his lie. That is little comfort. They were still doing his bidding. Que? My armor. Because the mercy of Kith is less capricious than the gods' guiding hands. It is pathetic how easily wounded your faith is. Curse Aethys for all of this. None of us did anything to deserve a chime. Do not be naive. It is hardly a gift. No, my soul is light. It will enter the beyond when I die like anyone else's. Instead of worrying over my soul, worry about why the gods threaten us with damnation. Destructive? Uncaring? That is what the gods are. All of them. Merla. I've never known a sword with an edge so sharp that it would be worth this headache. Diverus? Watcher, you are talking to a sword. How long ago do you think this ship set sail? I have only the faintest idea why she's upset. I guess it has something to do with her deep and enduring love for the two-legged Adra monster that's roaming the seas, devouring every living soul it comes across. Percam Blanca. Another frail faithed priest has come to mumble tearful protestations because I don't see the world with their blind eyes. I'm sure this will be as fresh as a pasture full of cow droppings. I'm working my way down from active disdain to slight regard. I'd prefer to give the lot of them as little of my time as possible. The Watch has seen more of the gods' nonsense than you'll ever know, Shoti. Did you really expect to find a sympathetic ear? Let me make something clear. If you take a swing at me, you're going to see a sharp blade coming back at you. I'm not entertaining this foolishness. She's devoted her life to giving false comfort to the uneducated and the desperate. Regale her with a round of thunderous applause if you want, Watcher. You'll never hear a word of praise about this religious theater from my lips. You should start to accustom yourself to being around people who don't share your faith. The older you get, the more of us there will be. Believe me. What's to work out? I'd just as soon get on with more important things. If after all you've seen, Watcher, you really believe that we're both right, you're an even bigger fool than this one. What fault is mine? I'm not the one throwing a fit. I like this attitude, Watcher. It makes it less likely for either of you to waste my time with this in the future. Little woman making a big noise. When someone takes that tone with me, what follows is not conversation. In the Republics, no one would bat an eye if I cut you from gut to gullet and left you holding your innards in a ditch. Diverus, a trained monk deigns to fight only with her fists. How charitable. Anyway, I'm not the one who got upset. I'd just as soon get on with more important things. Madico, of course you see it as arrogance. You surround yourself with believers. The very idea of disbelief offends you. And little girl, you have no idea what it is like to grow up being godlike. So do not presume to know what it means about my soul or my life. Madico, that's it. I've had enough of this simple-minded girl's idiocy. It isn't enough that we're looking for her god. She has to constantly spew her meaningless theology at everyone in earshot. Ugh. My patience for this little one has run out. Just the sort of bold leadership I was looking for. If this is what it looks like when you try, the clergy is where you belong. You can pray, and when nothing happens, you can leave it to your God because, well, at least you tried. I'm not surprised in the least. You had no interest in talking last time, either. If you want to get right with me, stop asking me about my faith, my soul, Helia, and Madico, everything else that I have no interest discussing with you. This is absurd, Watcher. Why should anyone have to listen to this nonsense? Good. Hopefully now we can put this behind us. Agrasima, Watcher. Incredible. You're still taking her side. I thought that what we went through in the Deerwood was worth something. When you think the worst of them, the worst they can do comes as little surprise. Only a fool would trust what he had to say. Whatever he said would be just another lie. Ugh. It is because I cannot give my country children that I give them so much of the life I have. You are not getting any younger. I know you do not like thinking, Adair, but maybe it's time to start. Ugh. Quite different. Even I am not accustomed to this much sailing. The dukes have liberated me from the burden of making that choice, Adair. Cores, amico, Bairn. Sometimes you need to make a decision for yourself. Your superiors don't always have the right answers. Believe me. Which one do you think I am? Tondri, I have no interest in your childish games. And you have the principles of someone who guards warmongers. That is to say, none. Do you really not know the Brotherhood reports directly to the Dukes? Or have the discharges of your gun knocked around your brain too much? It was a special request to have your bird captured and held hostage, until you stop asking me stupid questions. Quoi? Diverus? Seraphin. I am glad that you were able to see Remaro one last time before he left. Seraphin. I am sorry about what happened to Remaro. True enough. But with some luck, even they may someday get their due. Then let us work for better days ahead. Still, it is better to have had the chance than not. He did more than save my life. Diverus, he made my life worth living. Saving him seems like too small a gesture. Agrasima, it is appreciated. I may take you up on that some night. Here we are again, Watcher. I thought we had seen the last of each other after the Hollowborn crisis. It didn't go quite as I had planned, but it all worked out in the end. I would not have guessed I would find myself back with the Watcher of Cadnua, much less at the Order of Akanta. Watcher? Yes? Is there something you wanted to talk about? I know that you did not intend for misfortune to befall me. and I appreciate what you said in Queen's Birth. I know you have little concern for my well-being, but I'll try to make this work for our mutual benefit. And to be clear, unless the Kanta had ordered me, I'd have nothing to do with you. I heard about your arrival in Queen's Birth, but I didn't believe it until Kanta Nicese called on me. Belfetto. After we parted ways, I returned to the Republics and reported to the Duke's bells. The trade agreement worked well for the Republics at first. The Dukes honored me for my role in securing the most beneficial terms. Whatever they are up to cannot be good for any of us. Well, even if he has taken a special interest in you, I doubt he is any less mad than I predicted. Where I am assigned is of no concern to me. But I do think the Deadfire can be profitable for the Republics. I have had enough with Tikehu. If you can exercise any influence over him, per Blanca, do it. Shorty. I have been assigned to assist you, Watcher. But there are limits to my assistance. Good. I have no concerns, Watcher. You only have to ask. I must admit, accompanying you to Twin Elms worked out well for both of us. Fair enough, Watcher. We can't always get what we hope for, even when we do our best. Well, you're still standing and breathing, aren't you? Perhaps this time will go better for both of us. The trade agreement we brokered with the Anamenfath was quite lucrative for the Republics. The Deerwood was still recovering from Waidwin's legacy and was in no position to compete. The Duke's bells were so pleased with my performance that I was made the personal guard of the Duquess Spirento. Spirento is the most beautiful of all the Republics, and though I should not admit this, I cherish the Duquess above all other Duke's bells. Still, our profit came at the expense of the Deerwood. The fruit of victory was not so sweet knowing that the Deerwood suffered because of my actions. They were furious, of course. I was lucky I escaped with my life. They stripped me of my breastplate and scoured the suns from it. Then I was put on a ship for Eadceres. But when the Deerwood learned they had been cut off from trade with Glanfath, they went to war with the Republics. We lost dozens of trade ships and thousands of citizens. The Duke of Salona even lost his life. In the end, we had to relent and open trade between the Deerwood and Glanfath. Perhaps this is the outcome I knew was coming. I just wish so many of my countrymen did not have to suffer for my instincts to be proven right. I floated from port to port working as a guard for almost 3 years, before the Duke Espirento sent word to me that my presence was requested in Biagepe. The Dukes had decided that the trade they had developed between Glanfath, the Deerwood, and the Republics was a boon in the long run. Much like you, I never expected to see them again. I didn't get an apology, but I accepted a pardon from the Duchess Biagepe. I explained that allowing the Deerwood to retain some trading rights with Glanfath would be more beneficial for everyone in the years to come. At their best, the gods are powerful children. At worst, they are little more than mad beasts taking out their anger on our world. I have little interest in distinguishing which type Eothas is. But this is just the same as before, no? The gods are playing their games and leaving us to settle the wager. And I doubt Bereth and the other gods will consider your debt to them fulfilled. Merla, all of it. We need to find a way to turn the tables on them, you and I. Diverus. I have to give Eothas credit. He is the only one of his kind to see how corrupt and self-serving the gods are. Even better, his plan, mad as it is, must be sending the rest of his kind into a fit. Their days are numbered, and there is nothing they can do to stop what is coming. Diverus, not at all. Anomancers will fix what the gods have perverted, and the Republics will lead the way. With any luck, in a few generations, the names of the gods will be forgotten entirely. It seems what you want doesn't matter much, Watcher. For once, I am perfectly content to let this god get his way. Nothing is wrong with me. Mortals will find before the Engwithins decided to play at being gods. We will be fine long after they are gone. It may take some time for Anomancers to fix the damage the gods have caused, but I have no doubt they will succeed. If the Dukes need me here, I am glad to serve them. He seems to think because we are both godlike, We share some sort of special bond. Diverus, the only bond I want to share with him is an anchor wrapped around his neck. Too harsh. Perhaps just around his foot. Per Complanca. Make him stop. She is a child in thought, a child in action. If she wants to live in a fantasy, that is her choice. But she is so easily wounded by ideas counter to her own. Are Red Serens truly so sheltered? Whatever her problems are, they are hers. If she insists on trying to make them mine, she will end up hurt in more than one way. I follow your lead, but I serve the Valian republics. I do not expect a foreigner to share my love of country, but do not act against our interests. The dukes, the Valian Trading Company, even the great families. I am responsible for protecting them all. Respect that, and I will respect you. I failed to complete my mission and had no excuses. The republics had lost a golden opportunity to trade with the Glanfathens, and the dukes were furious. They exiled me from the Brotherhood, scoured the suns from my breastplate, put me on a ship to Red Ceres. Diverus, I was lucky to escape with my life. I worked as a guard. Caravans, ships, wealthy merchants. I did not discriminate. After my exile, both my purpose and my pride were gone. The years have taken me from the eastern reach to the Deadfire. Some would say it is fate that has brought us together again, Watcher. But you must already know what I think. It is just luck. Time will tell if it is good or ill. So, have you changed your mind about working with the republics? When you come to your senses, I'll be here. The Cantanicese has instructed me to assist you. And so, I wait. Good. Que? Menea was a good companion and a skilled warrior. But her imagination got the better of her. It appears to have gotten the better of you as well. Watcher, if you have a moment, I'd like to tell you something. Watcher, it is time for us to talk. Now, I understand that you have problems of your own to attend to in the Deadfire. But I am here on behalf of the Valian republics. I will do my best to help you so long as you do not prove insufferable, and so long as you do not act against the republics. I am starting to question both your allegiances and your character. If this continues, I will report back to my superiors and request reassignment. Good. Behave accordingly. I do understand too well. Difficult positions test us. This is your test. Act accordingly. Gelad, you dolt. I would gladly accept death for the republics. But at least now I know where you stand. Gores, Watcher, I appreciate that you have been helping me. Helping the republics. I know that you have an important purpose in the Deadfire. And that purpose is not the same as ours. Still, I hope you can see the potential the republics have to do good here. Agrasima, Gores, quite. But I trust you will continue to support us in the future. Gores, have I misjudged you? Whom to support is your decision, of course. But you always know where I stand. Watcher, I am returning to my superiors to give a full report of your actions during our time together. I will not be coming back. If you have any complaints about my performance, direct them to the palace of the Duchess Pirento, per Complanca. Pericuna to Arnau Besenderi Melanet. Ado, Watcher. The Cantanicese sent for me. It seems the republics have need of me again, thanks to you. Do you have need of me? Good. If you change your mind, the Cantanicese has ordered me to be at your disposal. Have it your way. I am only here because the Canta ordered me to come. Oretto Gore with the Colossus, Watcher. Once again it seems you have led me into a divine mess. At least this time we will see the gods get what they deserve. And thanks to you, the company will benefit in the end. I would prefer that you had chosen to support the company, of course. But I suppose the Juana have a right to their own destiny as long as their republics do not suffer for it. I would prefer that you had chosen to support the company, of course. But as long as the republics do not suffer for this, the Principi can claim their spoils. I am honored to have served with you, Watcher. You are and will always be my camarata.
You are an honorable compania, and I am proud to have served with you again. It is true we did not see eye to eye all the time, but I am glad we have worked through it. Let us go. Aethys awaits us. Of course, of course. Lead the way.
Watcher, I would like to speak with you, if you have a moment. I appreciate your help with Jacqueline. Without you, I could not have saved him, even though we could not save him. Without your help, I may never have found him, and it has made me think about the future of Anamancy, especially in the republics. I know that my love of country may seem strange to you. At times, it even seems strange to me. The republics are the only love I have ever known. I would give all that I have to them, to our people, to our future. It is not without cause. And it is not because I have lived a sheltered life in the republics. I have seen much of the world. Many beautiful cities, people, and cultures. I still believe in my heart that the Valian republics will lead us into the future, if love means to feel the way I do about my country. No. What I feel is about more than one person. More than the dukes. There is more to a country than its leaders and its people. More than cities and the lands that surround them, there is a spirit between us. It binds us together. It transcends us as individuals. There is a spirit between us, all of my people, that transcends individual citizens and leaders. It binds us together and carries us forward. It is what drives us to create, to learn, to push the boundaries of what we know about Eora, about the in-between, about the beyond itself. It is a spirit that lives in the heart of every Valian. And it is what gives me the strength to believe that Eora will see a better future. Gelade, because, Watcher, you walk among the greatest powers of Eora and the beyond. The time may come when your hand would choose the fate of the people of the Deadfire. When that time comes, I hope, I believe, you will see the future as I do. You are not a sworn brother of the Fremas Meskankswalias. You are not expected to. Still, the time may come when your hand would choose the fate of the people of the Deadfire. Until then, Kores, you know the future the republics can bring. Just as you can see that the time may soon come when your hand would choose the fate of the people of the Deadfire. When that time comes, I believe, I know, you will see the future as I do. I must say, Watcher, that you have made an excellent decision. The republics will not let you down. Watcher, I must object. Whatever plan you have to ingratiate yourself to these pirates cannot come at the cost of the company's luminous Adra mill. Good. I warn you, if you act against the Valian Trading Company, I will make your actions known. Watcher, you have put me in a position that demands that I leave your company immediately. The Royal Deadfire Company is an enemy not only of the Valian Trading Company, but Diverus, the republics themselves. I have clearly been unable to dissuade you from allying with our enemies, and therefore must take my leave. The Principes and Patrena are by any measure little more than pirates who would plunder Ukaizo for every flake of luminous Adra they could tear from it. The last time any Juana set foot on Ukaizo was over 2,000 years ago. If you allow them to claim it, they will prevent any Animancers from studying the machines that Eothas is about to destroy. If they have their way, Animancers will never be able to access or study the very machines that Eothas is about to destroy. If they lay claim to Ukaizo, it will be turned into just another military port, another foundry for cannons, another shipyard to build a larger fleet. All of the luminous Adra, the Engwithian machinery that Animancers could study, machines that Eothas is about to destroy, will go unused. This is not the end. But we may be together again when it comes. Why is that? You have refused the Republic's help in reaching Ukaizo. Worse, you have made the Valian Trading Company your enemy. If the Republics do not secure Ukaizo, all of that machinery that Eothas is about to destroy, all of that luminous Adra will be inaccessible to Animancers. I trusted you in Twin Elms. You did not let me down then, Watcher. Perhaps I can place my trust in you again. Do not let it be misplaced. No. I trusted you in Twin Elms. I was rewarded for it with 5 years of exile. I will never let my country down again, Watcher. Chorus. Ah, the Watcher of Cadnua. I heard you were in the Deadfire. Ah, the Watcher of Cadnua. I heard you were in the Deadfire. The Cantanichese has ordered me to be available to assist you. For the sake of the republics, of course. The Cantanichese has decided to forgive my past transgressions so that I may assist you. It seems the republics have need of me again. Do you have need of me? Could I have a moment of your time? Are you sure? It will not take long. Buffon V, you really are a botso, you know? We have not seen eye to eye lately. But there's something I'd like your help with. I know someone who works in this tower. An animancer named Giaccolo. I'd like to see him if we could. Agrasima. It should not take long. I have not seen him in many years and I wanted to thank him. It will be. It's been many years since I've seen him and I wanted to thank him. When I was a girl, he visited me in the academy. He was studying godlike. Studying what was in our souls that made us different from other kith. He found something in me. Something that resonated like a chime when he held an instrument near me. He said it was like this for all godlike. Different chimes resonating for different types. Indeed. He told me he was heavily influenced by Tooth's work. I'm impressed, Watcher. Oh, Diverus? Have you had such a test as well? But you are not godlike. In any case, he told me it was what was causing my body to change. I begged him to remove it. He refused at first, saying it was impossible. When I told him I would kill myself if he didn't, he said he would try. I don't expect you to understand, but I was 12. My body was changing in many ways. Being the only girl, the only godlike girl at the academy was unbearable. As I said, I do not expect you to understand. Agrasima. Giaccolo was not able to remove the chime, but he was able to sever it. When it happened, I blacked out. I did not wake for 2 weeks. The Brotherhood ejected him from the academy for ruining their pet godlike. They assumed I would die. I did not. Over time, I lost most of my feathers. The shape of my nose changed. It was not enough to make me fully Calbandra, but it was enough to keep me from wanting to die. When I looked in a mirror, what I saw was not a godlike. Not something to be paraded around. It was me. Finally, me. No. He told me the chime was what was causing my body to change. I begged him to remove it. This is important to me. Without Giaccolo's help, I would be dead now. If we can speak to him inside the tower, I would be grateful.
No, you do not decide who I am. Helia does not decide who I am. The Brotherhood does not decide who I am. I decide who I am. Giaccolo respected that. He respected me. Without his help, I would probably be dead. Yes, technically. The point is that it changed me. It saved me. Giaccolo saved me. Without his help, I would be dead now. Thank you for understanding. If we can speak to him for a moment in the tower, I would be grateful. Oh no, this does not look good. Even in a place this vile, someone must have heard or seen something. We should ask the owner if they know what happened. Why would someone do this to Giaccolo's work? I thought Animance's was safe here in the Deadfire. I hope so. Agrasima, lead the way, Watcher. Oh, Buffon V, as though all of your business is swiftly resolved. So this is the black market. It is smaller than I expected. We should ask around to see if anyone saw those godlike bring Giaccolo through here. Madico! Giaccolo abducted by godlike pirates? But why? He has always done his best to help my kind. Watcher, I have asked much of you already, but if you can find time to go to Dunwich to find this Captain Tutsuttle,
It would mean a great deal to me. It did not sound as though he was in imminent danger. But I fear what they will do to him. Not in the republics. I can't think of why godlike, of all kith, would have any reason to take him. They are in the republics. Even when Giacomo was not in someone's good graces, he was never in danger. Agrasima, Watcher. Something strange is going on here. Perhaps it has something to do with his research. I am sure we will find out when we find Captain Tatzatl. Do not get ridiculous ideas. You will only embarrass yourself. I did not ask for your opinion. Anyway, now you understand why Giacomo is important to me, Agrasima. Apologies, but I do not want you to have the wrong idea. I respect you, Watcher. In the Deerwood, we were companions. For better or worse, that relationship worked. I want this to work too. Percum Blanca, respect me and my vocation. Many animances are religious. They just lack your particularly obnoxious zeal for telling random passers-by about it.
Okay? What is he saying? Is that the Shamatal?
We are both mucking about with them, are we not? I am a servant. My country has needs and I tend to them as best I can, regardless of company. Is this one of those colorful pirate expressions? In that case, no. If you had spoken to them, you'd find them ridiculous too. Anyway, what good have your prayers to Ondra ever done? I would not. I would get a pirate to do it by grabbing one and sticking a sword up there without a homeland. There is no shame in using what works. Descant. I have always found slave fighting repulsive.
Yeah. Descant.
You have a heart as good as your mouth is foul, Seraphin. Tekehu, do you truly believe Ondra cares for you? Tekehu, when was the last time the Lady of Lament helped your people? Perhaps like a child cherishes a doll for a time before she casts it aside for another.
Diverus,
I will never understand how you people can serve something that cares so little for you. Percum Blanca, do you know how many Postinagos have said that to me? Tekehu, is your hair... Can you trim it? I mean, them. Helia has done me no favors, so I have done none for her. I must concede that the Huana are more welcoming to people of our kind. Ugh, but you're mistaken. It's a curse, and so I will hate Helia for it as long as I draw breath. A mate. We can't have children, Postinago. My feathers are as useful as your stupid tentacles. Diverus. Being lavished with praise seems terribly difficult. Brudo. At least my feathers don't have minds of their own. Do Juana parents abandon their children when they are born? Shodari. The last thing I want is a feast honoring my mother. This plumage brings me only the fawning of boys with bigger eyes than brains. Strange, no? How the gods are the only ones who do so? Stop, Percum Blanca. I did not ask for your buffoonish compliments, nor do I want them. Why would you unless you were unbearably full of yourself?
What is this?
Tekehu, come here.
Postinago, why would you think I want anything to do with her or the rest of those Batsos? Cruel.
The gods made me this way and I've cursed them for it since before I knew how to give form to words. I want nothing to do with them, and this one is stuffing my back with their relics. I have a vendetta with the gods. I wouldn't expect you to understand, but I do expect you to keep your childish baubles to yourself. Stop! This is a waste of both our breath and time. Stop! Your life is not mine. Do not lecture me about how things were just as difficult for you because you were expected to make pretty things out of water on command. If you want to delude yourself into thinking Ngati is your adoring mother, that's your choice. Just leave me out of it. Understood, Casita? Agrasima. It will be a welcome reprieve. We do not. What is it? I admit it is exquisite. I've only seen such detail on the finest marble statuettes from Gualfi. When I was born, there was no celebration. I was seen as an ill omen. That is, until my parents could get me out of their sight. I appreciate the gift, Tekehu. Will it last? When I was a young girl training with the Brotherhood's cadets, I wanted so badly to escape. I couldn't. So I stole a book from the scriptorium and started drawing in it. Tondari. It is rare that I get to converse with another of someone like me. Ugh, the Republics would cherish a craftsman like you, though they could spend a lifetime searching for someone with half your talent. You have a whole ship full of baubles. Be content.
Who put this in my pack?
But you could not have known. I was too harsh with you. It took me ages to scrape off whatever he had been writing in it. I don't know what it was. I couldn't read then. But I filled the leaves with pictures. They are nowhere. Everywhere. Places that were anywhere I was not. Because to be godlike means to be alone. Of course, the words are not important, but why am I here for this? Why? We do not all require deities to provide us our code of honor, though. It is possible they are magical. Animancers have found the Juana possess their own powerful techniques for binding essence. Diverus, your over-enthusiasm, your endless prattle. They sound much like the gods. I would prefer the form where we stay alive, Diverus. It was serious enough to cost your messenger's life. Or was he misled? A very convenient excuse to avoid any attempt at fairness or honor. Diverus, did we come all this way for nothing? They pray to a statue. Diverus, per Blanca. Do not mention this to her. By not being stuck within a statue, Diverus, 3 distinct minds manifested from a single potent soul, as are they all, bon amico, among other things. You sound very convincing. It is much the same in the Republics. Many wear a smile as a mask. Tondari, this blood sport is such a juvenile pursuit. There is something familiar about you. One more tool of the gods, bound to their will for millennia. Their truth has never stood in the way of the Kith's favorite distractions. Quay, this is mad! I will die before I let you take him. I will die before I let you take her. Better to fight our way out, Watcher, than to sell our honor to this creature. It is almost as if he speaks of a charm, ne? Surely this creature is not a godlike. I am with you, Watcher. This reminds me of tales of old Valia. They all end badly. Mind your step, Watcher. This place bears the marks of the gods. Blights, gird yourself against extremes of heat and cold. Their lack of legs means there's fewer limbs to remove. I hope that you have learned a thing or two since last you faced this foe. You should never have stepped into the arena, little man. I will consider this practice. For the Republics! Their size matters not. Crush them all! Stand firm against the darkness. I will never get used to this smell. Watch your step, Watcher. They know they cannot take it with them to the beyond. And yet, do not let them flank you. Make our size our advantage, Watcher. Merle, descant. Focus on breaking their bones. They've no flesh to pierce or slice. Burn them from the face of Aora. Be prepared for anything. That they would summon spirits for their entertainment. Descant. Seek the weaknesses in their plating, if there are any. Perhaps these notes were better lost. Focus, Adair. And where has Vodnir run off to? He could not have gone far, Diverus. If that elf's soul is still around to see what you did to her body, I do not believe a prayer will make her feel any better. That is small comfort, considering what we know about the whole wretched lot. If you like lies, we should talk about the gods when you have some time to spare. No one is immune to treachery, even a king as prestigious as you. Please do not encourage them. It is becoming something of a routine occurrence. Nor should you be expected to. Good. I was not looking forward to fighting this creature. Now let us go. Merla, it is like I am not even here. Diverus, is everyone in the Deadfire so obsessed with kissing? It is not a solution to every problem. What a shameful path the Engwithins followed to achieve their ends. Damn the gods! Watcher, it is full of souls that have been tortured for millennia. Let them be. Descant. Diverus. This is even worse than I would have expected from the Engwithins. See if you can set this soul free. If you have the power to interfere, perhaps you can help them. We should make haste. I fear if we stay here too long, our souls will be in danger. She must have been here for at least 2 centuries if she does not even know of the Deerwood. I would rather not see that loathsome creature again, even in a memory. How can you do this?
Edwin has done nothing to deserve such a fate. Diverus! If this is a joke, it is not amusing. These are Raid Saren soldiers. Dear wooden, too. Is this from the Saints' War? Good. With any luck, that is the end of that thing. Quite a climb, but we have found quite a vantage, of course. I will lead the way. It appears the Wanna could enchant items to command the water as well. Interesting. Madiko! These people are mad, and we are mad if we stand here and do nothing about this. I should have known that flying corpse would not stay down for long. Here is another thing I do not like about religion. It makes people build temples in stupid places. Belfetto. If this truly bends time, that means eventually we Valians will have the same power. Agreed. Diverus, you will sweat yourself dry. What did you do to the Watcher, imp? How comforting. Another zealot in service to the ghosts of Engwith. I have not forgotten. The Watcher has proven himself better than most. The Watcher has proven herself better than most. Said as if they are one and the same. I concur. Unearned power invites irresponsibility. The gods were born of Kith, and few Kith deserve veneration. None deserve it unconditionally. Agreed. Send them to the wheel. Grant them a clean chance at life. And if it were you, Adair, or your brother, would you leave him here? On your guard, Watcher. It is not the time, Seraphin. Do not encourage him, Edwin. You are defeated. Impede us no further. It is no surprise that the gods do not hold sacrosanct the self. They are mobs exalted to divine monstrosity. Agreed. What Tain asks is no better for these unfortunates than what has already been done to them. You are a child, playing with explosives. Postinago, I would have killed them, as the Watcher should have. Yet another vile horror in this prolonged succession of nightmares. These poor souls. Killing them would be a mercy, another abominable tool of the gods destroyed. This was well done, Watcher. Discount, Watcher. Do not blame me if that machine eats your sword arm. Whatever she has become, it is no life worthy of the word. Whoever she was, this thing is a danger to us now. Friendly. I'm not convinced that you fully understand what that word means, Adair. Blades out, everyone! We do not know what he is capable of, Watcher. Prepare for anything. Focus, both of you. This is not Copper Lane. Welcome back, Watcher. It is you, Ak. You should destroy this creature, for the good of the Deadfire. If you insist. Does this amuse you, Watcher? Well done, Watcher. After you. I hope that you understood more of that than I did, Watcher. Careful where you step. We do not want these waking up. I doubt that they will limit themselves to books when flesh is available. Be careful. Something perches up there. I can feel it. Merla. You know I cannot fly, Ak, Watcher? Blech. Descant. Let us cleanse this place, Watcher. Let us follow the screams to the source and choke it off. Let us destroy this as well. I hate this place. Careful with your flames. It is a very long way down. Take what you need. I doubt the Vithrak have use for it. Descant. Every book here is a lie or a stolen dream. It is nothing to be impressed by. Do you recall when we first met, Watcher? Aboard the ship from your homeland. I hope we were not planning on returning that way.
Why do you always bring me to brothels, Watcher? Why? Rauatayan diplomacy. Discant. The water shapers must have been completely unprepared. This was a massacre. Discanta deri, Merla. I did not think the explosion would be quite that big. Port Maje is a quaint little town, but not a bad place to spend some time. Diverus, are the Rauatayans here to colonize the Deadfire or blow it all to pieces? I doubt anyone other than Aothis could have created that footprint. But look, the lighthouse is to the west. 10 galleons and 5 days of cannon fire could not have caused this much destruction. We should find a way around them. There is no reason to fight any more than we must. To think This storm has been here since the Ingwithins left Eora. Little wonder that Ukaizo has been lost for all this time. I hope you have a plan for when someone sees through this charade. We would have an easier time playing Adira diplomats. It is smart to take the covert approach. Though a part of me wishes we could flush these rats from this Valian fortress. Perhaps the direct approach is not the most likely to succeed. But, Diverus, it is the best way to flush these rats out. Even pirates are mindful enough to catch on if we keep this up. We should be more careful. That sounds like an alarm. Did you know you would be fighting an entire pirate's den today, Watcher? I am amazed these people ever have time for piracy between their parties. Merla, I bet he never expected he would go out like that. The Engwithins built this place to last centuries. But they must not have predicted you would pay them a visit. I have read that the inventor Rivera has experimented with devices to bring air underwater. But this appears to be something on a far grander scale. Dico, I thought we already killed you. As impressive as these Engwithin machines are, they are always dangerous. This may be the first time, and I hope the last, that a building has roared at me. I do not remember them being that large in the White March, do you? Pirate debates are about as sophisticated as I expected. Belfetto. What an extraordinary machine. It is a shame this has been hidden here for all this time. What is this place? Diverus, there is no end to the horrors of the Deadfire. Though we have no reason to seek such a place out, I am confident you will take me there eventually, Watcher. Beautiful. It is a good thing pirates did not reach this place before us, or it would have been melted down by now. I can see why few have ventured here. The stench alone could turn an Aptapo's stomach. These trees have an ill will. Perhaps it is best to stay in the water. This is not where we are intended to be. Certainly these beings have our best interests at heart, do they not, Watcher? Belfetto, it worked. Well, perhaps it only half worked, but this is not where we are intended to be either. The Rawatayans must be mad to store this much gunpowder beneath them. I believe this place is leading us in circles. Or worse, candles lit in an abandoned temple. We saw this in Gilded Vale, too. But I doubt Aethys is keeping these flames alive. Nay, it cannot be. This is the same worm from the Temple of Helia. In the Republics, judges do not wear masks. Only executioners. It is so cold down here, I almost miss my old feathers. What is this place? Other than nothing good, I mean. You are every bit as foul as Seraphine ever was. At least he had a spark of love for someone in him.